What up, everybody?
What up?
This is On the Level podcast presented by Player1NE Gaming. I am Miracle Worker here with
Desmond Moultrie and the famous. Oh, wrong way.
the famous
T'Challa, Night Stalker, Player One
T'Challa.
CEO.
Damn, the CEO.
The
We got him
CEO.
on our channel today. Hanshu is dealing with some stuff, so he's not here. Hercule Ham, he's not here with us today. But I think today is going to be a good day. Got the boss man here. He's going to spread his wisdom throughout the topics today. Let's start it off with some news, Devs.
All right, so for some news today, little bits here and there. We got, let's see, we got the Nevada's RTX, what is it, 380 coming out on I believe the 25th. It's going to be like 350, 380 around there. Price point. We also got like a couple of DLCs and stuff like that. Like Street Fighter V just came out with a new character. Haven't really played him that much. We also got, let's see, we got, we also have some drama news with Riot Games right now. They're doing a little bit of, they're dealing with a little lawsuit about the CEO's gender discrimination, whatnot. What else we got? Oh, on the 25th of this month, we also have Pokemon actually coming out and doing a live action concert for the 25th anniversary, and they have Post Malone as the virtual man doing the concert for us.
Sounds pretty dope.
Yeah.
I wonder how they came about choosing who was going to be the concert focal point. Like, I wonder if Post is like, yeah, man, I just love Pokemon. Like, I want it. Or if they're like, reaching out. I just think that's pretty weird. But
No, yeah,
I like it.
Because he came out and said, he's a huge Pokemon fan and whatnot. So I feel like that was kind of their decision. They were like, oh, we got somebody big who's been hot for like 2 years now. Just coming in, be like, hey, let's get him on. They're probably going to do something like, what is it, like Fortnite a little bit, where they had their little concert. So we just got to see.
I don't know. Nintendo's real iffy with how they do their events though too, and that's a weird mix for me. Post Malone and Nintendo, I don't see that one. It could turn out dope, but
I just wonder how they're gonna do it. Like, we've had the Fortnite concerts, and they're over the top. Travis Scott. It was over the top, really. But I wonder what Pokemon's gonna do as far as theirs.
They can, with them, they can do a lot of different things. You know what I mean? I feel like, honestly, for me, it'd be a big surprise if he comes out with a whole new song about Pokemon. And, I feel like he's just going to have, because since it's going to be virtual, I feel like he's just going to have the Pokemon and whatnot just, running around in the background, or he's going to be, interacting with them and stuff like that.
I just hope he rides in on a Charizard.
Nah. Charizard's overrated.
I'll be honest, it'd be dope though. It'd be dope though.
Nah, we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it because usually when Pokemon does stuff like that, they have their big announcements coming in with it. Hopefully, it's Gen 4, the Generation 4 remake that they announced for this year's release. I know they got Pokemon Snap coming out and some different things for the Switch, but I really do hope that they do Gen 4. Hopefully they don't mess it up like Sword and Shield, but saying.
I don't know. Because what do you think they're gonna do? Like an actual concert, like in game, like Fortnite?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how many players are we gonna have? I feel like it's gonna be at like one of the the train stations, and he's just going to be like in the corner singing like that.
And that'll be such a letdown if that's what they do.
I just don't know what they would do. I guess he could open for like one of the Pokemon tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
He could open for that potentially, but I don't know how that's going to work because you only have so many people that can even enter those tournaments. But
yeah, that's true. Also, just because Hercules Ham's not here, I'm just gonna put out a little hit of this and that. So for the PSV, I know he probably already knows, but Kingdom Hearts is coming out for it. And it didn't say, I didn't get to see which Kingdom Hearts was coming out, but I think it's going to be all of them up to 3. I don't think the one that came out for the Switch recently is going to be up here.
Well, I mean, Kingdom Hearts isn't that great of a game anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So
no,
absolutely.
Yeah, we might as well not even spend that much time on a game like that. Let's just go ahead and move on to something more important.
Hey, you guys heard about Cyberpunk getting hacked and the source code being sold on the dark web?
Listen, they brought this on themselves. Okay, don't mess with the gaming community. Don't mess with them. Listen, they brought that on themselves. I'm sorry. I don't even feel bad for them a little bit. Listen, the gaming community is ruthless. If you don't deliver on what you say you're going to deliver on, and you charge an arm and a leg for something,
that honestly, that's the only reason why I still haven't bought Cyberpunk, besides the fact that I can't buy it on PS5. But
Facts. Hey, all you got to do is go to Best Buy because they have a whole display that nobody's touching.
Unless you have, the digital version of the PS5, but whatever. No, I like like I always said, they did bring it on themselves, especially with the whole. They basically lied to us about what the game's gonna what the game's gonna be, especially for the PS4 and basically last gen installments of the games. They kind of didn't come out the gates was like, yeah, these games are not meant for you guys, even though the PS5 or the Xbox Series X wasn't even announced what specs they were going to have or anything like that before the game came out.
So this is the thing I do know about gaming developers and gaming companies that create the hardware. Mm-hmm. They usually know about 5 years ago. They probably knew about 5 years ago exactly what the specs were going to be, and and Cyberpunk has been in development since. Well, I want to say almost 10 or 15 years or something like that. It's been at least a concept. So that's not even an excuse. They knew. And then it's really came down to poor management, poor timing, and they didn't want to actually fork up the money. You know what I mean? Just to actually do it the right way the first time. And they lied to their investors. So
I mean, honestly, when it comes down to Cyberpunk, I just feel like most of their they shouldn't even have wasted resources on last gen. They should just
they shouldn't have. And I mean, sadly, like I was just reading, none of their console sales are going anywhere. And granted, PlayStation pretty much said, "Yeah, see you later, Cyberpunk. We're not even going to sell you on our store." But even to that, people are going into, GameStop and they're not buying the discs. They're going into Best Buy. They're not buying the discs because they know it's a problematic game. You can only get so far, and then you're getting, black screen. You're getting kicked out, and I think it's nuts.
Oh yeah. Let's see. You got anything for us, boss man?
Nah, man, I say let's go ahead and let's get into our topics.
Get into the topics?
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. I'm not gonna make fun of Hercules Ham if I'm not gonna make fun of myself. Just want to let y'all know new season of Destiny just came out last Tuesday.
Okay,
it's a big. Hold on.
No, it's not. Listen,
it's a big upgrade from last season when the DLC dropped. All I'm saying is just give it a try. That's all I'm saying.
If they got rid of that game, it would be a big upgrade. So I'm just saying.
I listen. I agree with you. I really do. I do.
It looks like we have a guest that's waiting to get in. Should we allow him in? I'm not sure.
Hey,
it's up to you guys.
If it's Shroud, I'm gonna scream.
No. Let's go ahead. Let's let this guy in.
If it's Shroud, I'm screaming.
Sasuke! No. Oh, there he is, the man of the hour.
Hey, Harry, how you doing?
I told you guys, you bring up Kingdom Hearts, he pops in, you know?
Yeah, that's weird. Like,
he said, I'm dropping everything. I need to go home now.
Thought you couldn't do the podcast today, but all of a sudden, Kingdom Hearts.
You like how his mouth's moving, but nothing's coming out?
Yeah.
Literally, like he's trying to talk and it's not working.
Is everything okay there, buddy? Just want to.
No, still can't.
He went mute. Don't worry, we're here to teach you how to speak if you need help.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You're literally muted, like we cannot hear you. He's like, oh my gosh.
He's still talking, and even though he's muted. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Herc is having some technical difficulties, so we're just going to go ahead and take him off.
He is the technical difficulty.
All right, great. So let's go ahead. Let's get into the first topic.
Yeah, today, for sure. Let's get into the topics.
All right. So the first topic is in 10 years, what will the gaming community be like? Let's go. Let's start with you, Miracle. What you think?
Ooh, man, yeah. I think that. Listen, the gaming communities, it's just growing. It really is. You know, with everything that we're seeing coming up in the gaming community, you know, you have everybody from those that just follow esports, those that just follow their favorite streamers, or those that actually like to, you know, get involved and play the games and, you know, stream on their own time, play with their friends. I think that it's going nowhere but up, especially with the type of games that are coming out now. You know, a lot of them are just more meticulous and you can just immerse yourself in them. You really can. Especially with how, you know, we're starting to see more VR stuff come out. People like that stuff. You know, for some people, it's keeping them active. For some people, it's just that better way to immerse themselves within the game. And, you know, I think at the end of the day, the biggest factor is, you know, it's bringing friends together. Or if you're like Herc, you just like to play by yourself. But that's what the games are, you know, here for. I think it's going to do nothing but grow, truthfully. And I can't wait to see it.
Okay.
Yes, what do you think?
I feel like most games should be like Destiny, you know? All right, I'm just joking.
I want to see a Destiny Kingdom Heart crossover. That's what I want.
Best game, I tell you right there. But no, honestly, I feel like in you know, 10 years, even like in the next 5, probably, you know, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of changes to it, especially with like all the controversies we had last summer and whatnot. You know, esports is actually looking into that, you know, and figuring out how can, and especially during the time like Corona and whatnot. I feel like, you know, they're literally coming in with plans and thinking of different ways how to interact with people without us actually being in that certain, you know, in that certain spot and whatnot. I don't know. I agree with you with the whole VR thing, but I personally don't feel like everything needs to be VR in a sense.
No, absolutely not. It doesn't.
But in the next 10 years, I definitely see a lot of progression. Like, I really feel like it can compete with a lot of like major like sports and different like real life tournaments and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, with the gaming companies and the esports and whatnot, I feel like it's definitely going to make a big jump.
No, for sure. I can see that. And I mean, VR is cool and all, but literally, unless it's like some Sword Art Online type VR, I can really care less. Let's be honest.
Listen, I'm just saying, being part of one of the only, esports league in the United States, it feels nice. You know what I mean? Being a part of something big.
Damn, he's trying to fucking kiss some ass right now. Tell
I
you
just
what,
want
guys,
I just want you to know it's working.
it's working. He said. He just put the golden star next to your name. That's what he did. He said, "Yeah, let me add him." He got half a star for that.
Can y'all hear me now, or am I just?
Oh,
No, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Did you say something? Your mouth's moving.
Oh.
You're so funny, Sackett.
So we're gonna put Miracle on mute for about 10 seconds. He's gonna be in timeout. What do you got to say, Herc?
Gaming in the next 10 years. I really think a lot of people are going to get upset with gaming, just because it's like with DLC and everything dropping. It's people like gamers are just going to get more and more upset because these guys are finding more and more ways to put stuff into the game which really doesn't even need to be in the game. Like skins are cool and all that stuff, but they really don't need to be in the game. I've played games back in the day where it's like, hey, you got the cartridge and that's it. Sometimes you might have to perform CPR on it, but other than that, that's all you got. If the game is cracked and it sucks, then hey, you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, you got another patch. Oh, you got another patch. Oh, hey, you got another patch. And it's like, dang, I don't know. I feel like within the next 10 years, I think gamers are going to revolt and be like, listen, just release a game. Make sure it's good on release. If it's not good, then fine, you can release that patch, but don't like include so much that it's like, oh, cool, this game just dropped, but now we got to wait another day because there's a 50 gigabyte update on it on the day of its release. Stuff like that enrages gamers, and it'll happen just like it happened with Cyberpunk, where people were like, damn, this is not a finished game, and then boom, it just got removed from the PlayStation Store. People were upset. There you go. They made it perfect for PC. I wouldn't say perfect, but they made it really good for PC. But consoles, yeah, they just told them to suck it pretty much. So,
yeah,
but that's
see, the whole thing with Cyberpunk on PC, let's be honest. The only reason it is doing good on PC is because the gamers themselves can go into the files and fix the issues if they wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But, I definitely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, it's super easy on the computer. You just open up the command menu and you just put in whatever you want to put in, and then boom, game runs fine and you're good to go. Have we moved on to the second topic?
No, we're still on the first.
Competitive? Still on the first? All right, as I was.
Yeah,
I'm just getting ahead. Sorry.
No. That's all good. No, I would have to say I have to agree with Herc here. And, of course, I'm a little bit older than you guys, and y'all like to make fun of me about it. But this is where being older kind of comes into play, because I started off with an Atari and went from an Atari to Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and so forth, right? I didn't have to worry about buying a game and then trying to get the extras later on. I got the game, and that was it. And that was what was great about the game. You get the game, it's a full game. You can try to find Easter eggs or anything like that kind of in the game. And it was just exciting. It was exciting to play with you by yourself, and it was exciting to play with your friends or family or anybody who came over just to experience the game. Now you spend $65, $70 on the game, and then you have to budget out for another 30 to 40 for DLCs, weapon skins, anything like that. And it's become, I hate to say this, but it's true. It's become pay to play, right? So if you want to be good at the game or anything like that, you kind of got to pay a little extra if you want to get a little more further into the game. Like, I know we talk about it all the time, but I'm going to bring up Destiny just because it kind of centers around this, right? Or, you know what? I won't even say that. I won't even say Destiny. We could bring up any game. COD, Grand Theft Auto, whatever. Like, if you want to get further into the game, or if you want to experience something new within the game, you have to pay just to do that. And it's pretty much like paying for a whole nother game. and it's starting to get ridiculous. Because one, you're not getting what you paid for, and two, it's just not worth it. Like me, I'm a parent, I have kids, and I have kids that game now. So when they decide, hey, listen, I want to, play this game, but 3 months down the road, a new DLC comes out for it, then I have to make a decision whether or not I'm gonna go ahead and get that DLC for them, so that way they can continue to play it or not. And then most of the time, the DLC is trash anyway. Like I can't remember the last game I played where the DLC was legit worth the money I paid for. Well, I was like, you know what, this is worth it. But then you have games like League of Legends, Valorant, stuff like that, where it's free for the whole game. But if you want to play, if you want to buy the skins or whatever stuff like that, you can. It's not going to do anything different for your gameplay, but it'll look cool. But it makes it worth it because you're like, hey, listen, the game is already dope. It's fun to play. And now if I want to get the skin, I can. You know what I mean? Because you want to support. Yeah. So I'd rather play a game that I legit want to support versus a game that brings in a lot of the hype, like Cyberpunk, because it had a lot of promises that they didn't fulfill on one of them. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Like for me personally, I don't think there's going to be a big change in 10 years when it comes to gaming. I think because gaming has been incremental if you look over the time. Because the best system for me that I've ever had was an N64. Like I still got it right now, sitting up here, and I still play it to this day. That's the best system I ever had. And it's not like it's got the best graphics, but it had to me, it has way better gameplay than a lot of the games that are out right now. Yeah. So I think VR is a good gimmick, but VR has been out since late 80s, early 90s. So if VR was going to take this big leap forward, I think it would already happen, number one. And then number two, we're starting to see now with gaming companies that they have to take a loss somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. It's only going to last for so long. Like with the new Xbox, they had to take a loss if they wanted to get it out at a good price and still have enough people that wanted to buy the system. Obviously, COVID kicked in and it kind of hurt them on their sales a little bit, but regardless, they were going to have to do that anyway. Yeah. If you have to still think about the consumer at the end of the day, especially as a parent, am I going to be willing to go out and spend $1,200-$1,300 on the gaming system that's probably going to be obsolete in about 3 or 4 years? Probably not. You know what I mean? So, although VR sounds good, is gimmicky or whatever, I just don't think it's going to be sustainable in the long run.
Yeah, I just feel like for instance, like what you said, how old games, they came out and brought in like a whole package and whatnot. It's crazy because I literally just thought about it, and I feel like out of recent games that's literally came out and done that, I want to say that Metal Gear Solid 5 was one of the games that was like, oh, we're going to set it in one price point. You get the whole game, and you can literally play the game how you want it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's how most games should do it. Right. Not for instance, like I said, I brought up Destiny shit like that, but what what you're saying is basically what Bungie's doing with Destiny. Every 3 months, a season comes out, and you have to pay for that season. They barely had shit for that season, so it's like, like for somebody new to come in and play, they already spending over, like I want to say 100.
They're spending close to 100 right there.
Yeah, because you have to pay for the first three DLCs, and then you got to pay for the season. And if you want to keep continuing and getting the stuff, you have to, they're closely getting into pay to win games, and honestly, that's what a lot of games are doing. If you can dish out money, boom, here's this for you and stuff like that. I remember COD, they had something like that. One of their skins for one of their guns that had the customizations and all that stuff. You pay money for it for the season pass. You level up the season pass for free to for a person who just bought the game and not the season pass. You couldn't get it because it's locked. You know what I mean? And I remember it being game breaking. I forgot what it was, but what else? Battlefront 2. When the game first launched, that was the whole debacle with the loot boxes. Like you can literally get stuff to be good in those loot boxes by paying more money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that I feel like that's the biggest issue with the game company. They're just going to keep getting more and more greedy.
For sure.
I agree.
Hands down.
Cool. Anybody got anything else?
Nah, he covered it. Covered that one.
I agree.
Yeah. I think we all share the same consensus about how gaming companies are nowadays, and then what the community might be like in the next few years. I just honestly think with any big business as it grows, it tends to lose the reason why it first started.
Mm-hmm.
And then that kind of, I hate to say it like this, but it's true. It's like the purity in it. You know what I mean? The purity in the game, whatever. And they kind of lose sight of that. Instead of making like a great game that's playable and enjoyable by everybody, they're thinking about, well, how do we put out a game fast enough and how much money can we get?
Oh, yeah, for sure. They lose those principles.
Yeah.
And I mean, that, it comes with, just look at all these companies with different departments. You have 2K that has 2Ks literally around the world working on potentially, yes, the same game, but potentially, 2K Europe or, 2K Australia, whatever, they're working on a totally different game. And, they're handling that on their end.
Right.
And, I mean, I think at a point it's cool and all, okay, let's just, play magical chairs. But, I think it's nuts. It's unneeded, and, I think a lot of these companies are getting greedy to where they're like, yeah, let's put out multiple games within the same year, but all of our resources are going to be spread across these games instead of all of them focusing on one game.
Right.
And I mean, not to hate on any of the 2K games or anything like that, but like,
ass.
I mean, oh my word, I've never seen such a copy and paste mechanic done so well by so many people, and just to swindle them into getting into the same thing every single year. Now, granted, PS5 drops, so we have the next generation, but it's literally the same thing. I mean, I play 2K, and it's just the same thing, and they're so stingy on your VC. Even if you play on Hall of Fame and you get more VC, that game is literally pay to win. And it's just copy and paste. Same thing with Madden. Madden is literally the same thing. I took Madden back. I couldn't play it. I was like, dude, this is literally Madden 20 again. That's it. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but so this is my thing, right? I don't want to stay on this topic too long because we got another one. But so is it really swindling somebody if you already know, like for the past 10 years, that pretty much the only thing they do is copy and paste or whatever? It's going to be the same thing year in, year out. Is it really swindling somebody that they buy the game? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, to be honest, it's not like 2K is lying, and I'm not a 2K fan at all. I think it's trash.
Bring back NBA Live.
Yeah, exactly. I think Live was dope, but then Live fell off, and then 2K came in and took its place. But I don't think it's swindling when your customer base knows what they're getting ready to get, but they refuse to not buy the game. Like, just don't buy the game. That's how I look at it. If you want to send a real message, don't buy the game.
No, for sure.
That's what my Uncle David did. I think he has like 2K16, and he legit edits the roster every single year. And he just starts adding more and more people. He retires people in his 2K, and he still does it to this day.
Yeah. I mean,
sorry, go for it, Miracle. My bad.
No, I can get behind that, and you're right with saying, don't buy, that sends a message. But even now, just look at like the actual 2K streamers, whether they're on Facebook or Twitch or, whatever platform they're on. Most of them are going back to 20 because 21, or they're going back to old gen 21 instead of playing the new gen 21 because it just fell off. They're not really getting anything. It only goes so far. The city's great, but You're literally running a mile around the city, takes 20 minutes, to get around the city. It's like, for what?
Yeah, and a skateboard or a scooter costs way too much freaking VC.
Yeah,
for sure. Anyways, though, let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah. So, do you think esports will still be able to compete against the major sporting brands? Let's say here in the next 10 years.
I don't see why they can't.
Yeah, because I'm gonna bring up something. So Call of Duty League this year, CDL, they've got some pretty big partners that just came on board, right? So they got USAA. I think they signed on for the next 5 years, and then there was one more that signed on. For I think it was Zaxby's. I know signed on with the Florida Mutineers for the next
Zaxby's.
Okay.
They're gonna be eating good, I'll tell you that.
Well, they'll be eating. I don't know about good, but anyway.
It's all about raising canes.
Unless Zaxby's, unless you're trying to be a sponsorship, then hey, we're gonna be eating good too, baby.
Yes, sir.
But no. For real. And then if I don't know if y'all watched the Super Bowl, but if y'all did, then y'all would have saw the CEO of 100 Thieves. He had his own commercial on the Super Bowl Nation out there. So I think, me personally, I think esports is getting there. I don't think it will overtake the NBA and MLB and all that stuff unless they do one thing, and we've already discussed that behind the scenes. But other than that, I do think it's gonna be there for a while though. I don't think it's really gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
What do you think, Miracle?
I honestly think that it's kind of baselining. I don't think it's going to grow within the next 10 years, but I don't think it's going to go down within the next 10 years per se. That is weird. Stop holding hands on stream. But we're looking at games like COD, Warzone, Apex, League, anything in that manner. What are you doing?
Don't worry, man.
You trying to rub my face? I'm confused. It doesn't work like that. But I think we have great games, great competitive games, but the room for growth it's just not there. At least right now, it's not there. I think within the next 20 years, possibly, but within the next 10, I don't think it's going to happen.
I agree with that, and I'm glad we brought up the last topic before we brought this one because it coincides with it. Honestly, I feel like the only way the games can be competitive to that standard is, if they were to stop all the, I wouldn't say scamming because I can't really call it scamming, but drop half of the stuff that they literally. That we talked about, and I feel like with that, and if they can get better sponsors and better, they need to be able to endorse themselves even more than what they're doing. Like CEO for 100 Thieves, he was on the commercial in the Super Bowl. That's a big step. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if more people could afford to do that, I feel like they should. You know what I mean? It gives them. It's like the same thing for Steph Curry. Let's just bring in Steph Curry for a second. When he came into the NBA, everybody thought he was small and stuff like that, right? He became the best shooter, whatnot, and he had kids who they knew they weren't going to grow up to be tall or something like that. They were like, oh, I put themselves in the mindset of, oh, they can do the NBA. And stuff, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, for instance, if Ninja were to come out, give himself a spot in the Super Bowl commercials and whatnot, I feel like that would inspire people who look up to him to take to make themselves more out there and stuff. Shroud comes out, you see a little gameplay of him, of how he plays, and do a little thing of how he came up. He was basically a nobody. He did the tournaments and stuff like that. He he built himself up. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I feel like if people could do that, and and bring it out there, I feel like it'd just be amazing. Oh, thank you, Wild Kid.
the love and the hate.
I know,
yeah. What do you think, Ham?
All right, so according to Business Insider, total esports viewership is expected to grow at a 9% compound annual growth rate between 2019 and 2023, up from 454 million in 2019 to 646 million in 2033, per Insider Intelligence on Business Insider. Obviously, everybody loves video games, especially competitive video games. We have people all around that are like, wow, Shroud's the greatest. I want to be like Shroud. Obviously, just like in the NBA and in other sporting categories, there's going to be a lot of people that you watch and you're like, I want to be just like him. Just like Dev said, hey, you got Steph Curry, right? I personally don't like Steph Curry. I think CP3 is the best point guard. But Steph Curry comes in, starts shooting threes like crazy, makes a few. Like, wow, he's the greatest shooter. I want to be like him. It's the same thing. You got Miracle up here who's talking about, wow, Shroud is the best FPS player. I want to be like him. And then you have kids that are like, wow, look at Ninja. He is the best Fortnite player. I want to, play Ninja or play like Ninja. And then you have people that are taking home millions of dollars because they go to these Fortnite tournaments and then they win the money. So I would agree with Business Insider and all of y'all that esports will get bigger. I really don't think it'll surpass any other sports because people are going to always argue that gaming, competitive gaming, and sports, they really can't coincide. But I mean, maybe one day we'll see, like, because chess right now, I don't know if y'all been on Twitch or anything like that, watching a lot of the recommended channels, but chess is actually getting a lot bigger, which is really weird. It's the same thing with Tetris. I don't know if y'all have seen Tetris, competitive Tetris. Have y'all?
Well, Tetris is always.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's always on my Facebook feed.
Bro,
Yeah.
Competitive Tetris is so fun to watch. I was telling my brother-in-law about it, and he was like, what? People do that? And I was like, yeah, man, and there's a prize pool and everything. And apparently it was like 2 years ago when Joseph Saley won in Portland. He got like a $500,000 check from I think it was from the son or actually from the creator of Tetris himself. And I was like, damn. So, I mean, you'd be surprised, man. And even like games, I think speedrunning for me is a really fun gaming category because you get money out of it. You get people viewing you out of it. Obviously, it's not competitive gaming in a lot of people's eyes, but I think it is because you have so many people that are going in. What? All right.
Nothing hurt. Just keep on going.
But, I mean,
but I feel where you're going with her.
So do I.
Yeah. So this is my thing, right? One, I don't feel that Ninja is synonymous with esports.
No, absolutely not.
No, when I think of esports, I don't think of Ninja, and to be honest, I barely think of Shroud, and that's because Shroud has been retired from that scene for a while.
For a hot minute,
I think of them both as streamers. Yeah. So I think it does.
Shroud barely streams anymore.
I think it does esports, and I think it does streamers a disservice when you try to put the two together.
For sure. I mean, you're definitely thinking.
Well, so like back in the day when I used to watch CS:GO and play it religiously, I looked up to Shroud because I thought Shroud was the best, and then you have Kenny S, who is the best opper. And I'm just saying, like, when people would watch them, they'd be like, I want to do that. I'm not saying now because, he's a streamer and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to retire to, stream. But that was just me back in the day. I loved 2016 Shroud when he was on Cloud9. Holds a special place in my heart. Love the guy.
Yeah, but this is what I mean though by that is that if you try to hold on to like the past greats too much, then you'll stunt the growth of a lot of people who are in esports right now. It'd be like Ray Allen was one of the greatest shooters to ever grace the NBA, and he does like commentating now sometimes for some of the games, right? Yeah. If you only Well, really more like Reggie Miller. He's probably better for this context. So, yeah, Reggie Miller used to be one of the greatest shooters in the NBA, but he's a commentator. If you only talked about Reggie Miller so much, most of the kids coming in now, they'll be like, "Oh man, that's great," but I don't really know who Reggie Miller is because I wasn't like watching the game at that time, or I wasn't born at the time. So that's why I say that trying to bring up Ninja or Shroud to be synonymous with esports kind of does a disservice to esports right now because they're in a whole totally different part of their life. Like keys are great to you, absolutely, but there are going to be kids that are coming in right now that might
know nothing about him.
Yeah, that know nothing about him, or might look at some of the stuff that he did and say like, yeah, he was great, but he doesn't do that anymore. You know what I mean? And I think in order for esports to evolve, we got to start propping up the people that are in that scene right now. I mean, it's just like with your comment earlier, Hurt, when you said like people are going to fight back on esports actually being a sport. Well, to be honest, they did the same thing with the NBA too. That's why for a long time the NBA was not a league or anything like that. It was just like random teams. I hate to say it like this, but it's pretty much rec ball. Until eventually somebody got together and they was like, hey, listen, we need to form a league, bring the best teams together, and then actually create something off of this or whatever. So it was really more of a college sport than it was like looked at as a professional sport. So I just look at it like that. Like everything has its ebbs and flows and the way that it evolved. But if we really want to see the scene grow, we got to start propping up those people that are playing right now and appreciate the greatness that they're doing. Like like for Kai, I look at Scump because I think Scump is dope. Yeah. Because I like the way that he just says whatever's on his mind. So, so I celebrate him right now. There are people that I think that are better than him or were better than him. You know what I'm saying? But in the past, but to me right now, he's probably one of the best on the scene.
So, and I have a question to that. So, we're talking about the esports, scene, and you're saying, yeah, don't really look at, Shroud or Ninja, but what are
I'm not saying don't
so,
look at them. I'm just saying like if you try to still keep them in the realm of esports, I think you're doing a disservice.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. Well, so when we're looking at the esports, scene, are we looking at legit leagues that are set like the CDL? Are we looking at, tournaments, charity tournaments, whatever, etc.
And that's the thing. That's where I think that we're going to have to start headed to is we're going to have to look at legit leagues. Like tournaments are great or whatever. Like Evo, what had spawned from tournaments, local tournaments on the West Coast. Evo spawned from that, right? And Evo became this great big thing. Now Evo is a touchy subject right now. Because some stuff that's happened recently and in the past. But irregardless, if we're just talking about what they did, they started off as just a local scene and then it grew into what it became internationally known, as one of the greatest fighting tournaments that there is, bar none. I think we're going to have to start looking at leagues. Like, hey, listen, if you're not part of a legit league, I mean, it's great to go and do tournaments, and sometimes we have high dollar tournaments, but those are to me they're not sustainable because one, you can only do them every once in a while, and there's no real structure. Like, what's the pathway for me to actually get into something like that? Like, if I'm not a big name or if I don't have like a crew that like we're just all cracks, what's the chances of me actually get? That's what I loved about Evo. Is that if you were legit good, you had the opportunity to get on the stage, on the main stage, and fight and show that like, hey, listen, I'm one of the best. My name might not be great, but I'm one of the best, and we've seen that over time through Evo, and I think that's where we're gonna have to go at.
For sure.
Right now.
So what about those games that might not necessarily have leagues?
I mean, hey, I just found out. Speaking of that, my bad for cutting you off. But speaking of that, I literally just found out. Like I told you earlier, there's legit a farming game simulator tournament, and I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Farm simulator, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, farming simulator. Yeah. Well, no, and so like yes, tournaments are cool, but for certain games, there's potentially not going to be leagues. There's not going to be a league setting.
Not every game should be competitive, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I get sick and tired of people trying to make every game that comes out competitive. Not every game is one, it doesn't have the infrastructure to be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And two, it's not a competitive game. Like, you know, like for a while there, people thought Anthem was going to be esport. And I'm like, no, let Anthem just be a game.
Literally how?
Exactly. Like,
there's no PvP.
Right, exactly. Let Anthem just be a game. Don't try to make it into an esport. But everybody wants to try to find their way into esport, and they want that one game to be their niche. And it's like, nah, man. Like, you know, there are games out there that are competitive, and they're built for that. And that's where I think the gaming companies have to come in, and they have to start working with, you know, leagues and people who've been in this space for a while and say, okay, cool. How do we create a truly competitive esports style game? Bam. All right, cool. Let's do that. But don't try to make every game just because it's the trend right now. Because that's how you kill a scene real quick. Because you saturate it too much. You try to put too many different games in there. Now people don't. Now that's when it starts to become gimmicky, like what Herc said. That's when it's gimmicky. It's because everybody's saturating the scene. Stop doing that.
Yeah, I mean, look, basically the biggest example I can give out of that is like what happened with Among Us. Among Us was a great game for a long time, but then like literally for a while, like that Among Us is literally all you've seen every day, every time.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the media's fault.
No, it's not just the media's fault. You know, it's just that's just what happens. You know, somebody comes out, someone famous, and, you know, comes out and be like, "Hey, this game's hot." You know what I'm saying?
Not for sure.
Everybody goes to it, and it catches on. Cool, that's great for the company and whatnot. But you know, at the same time, it's like if that's the only thing you see, like myself, don't get me wrong, playing Among Us was fun, but at the same time, I was like, I got tired of looking at it over and over and over.
No, I mean, but at the same time, that would have never been a competitive game because there's so many variables.
But guess what?
You know,
people made it competitive. That's the thing. They like people, you know, made so many rules to it to make it competitive.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a game that needed to be competitive. You know what I mean?
I mean, no, I feel that, but yo, shit, some farming simulator, I'd hop on that tournament quick.
Just like how you would with the Sims one, right?
Hey, yo, Sims, that's different. Hey, first to a mill, too easy. All
right,
one,
you know what?
Hold on, become a vampire. Two, just start writing books. You're gonna make a mill.
I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to pitch a Sims tournament right now. You got 2 minutes.
Sims tournament? Yo, say less. All right, so the tournament would legit be kind of just what I said. So you're going to be the first to make $1 million. Now, there's nothing that I can say to what you can't do as far as like a job, but I will say this. There are ground rules. No, you cannot be combining households to take over their funds. You can't be, you know, doing that and then selling the property, selling all the furniture, because that just raises the profit like instantly. I could have $1 million in probably like 20 minutes doing something like that. So, you know, like actually going, working, you know, and I mean, I think it would be pretty dope. I don't really know how a tournament would work for it, but legit, just like a basis of, you know, try to get $1 million. You can choose from whatever career you want. You can rob people if you want, whatever. But as long as you're not combining your households, taking their money, and then, you know, okay, see you later, hit the divorce button. I'm gonna sell your property too.
That's robbing a house, you know. That's
yeah, but that's something that they put in the game. I'm talking about like you're going in there and you're like and you're you know robbing them. I'm not talking some, you know, game mechanic, but whatever. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool. I doubt you guys would win because either I'm going the author route or I'm going the painting route. So just off of that, you guys aren't working.
We don't play Sims.
Hey, that's fine. You don't have to play Sims. I'm just telling you, it's a good app.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Hey, yo, listen. Sorry, we can't all play Star Citizen, guys.
Star Citizen.
Hey, first off, We ain't gonna start with that. Star Citizen is a dope ass game, and you already know that. Now I can't help because your laptop is trash. And you
No, that is not why we talked about this. That's not why. Listen,
Star Citizen is dope. By the way,
Star Citizen, hit me up. HaydenSackett@gmail.com. That's what I use to register. I just want to talk because every time I get into the elevator, I fall through the map, and it's getting old.
Well, usually because we don't let trash come and just play.
We don't let trash. Yeah, I don't spend $800 on this shit.
I don't spend $800 on shit either. So that don't bother me now.
Oh, hold on. Here, I'm trying to pat your head, buddy. Oh, feel better.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'll participate in competitive Sims if you start it up. That's what I love, bro. Hit me up. I'm here for it.
You found one person across.
One person. That's how you get it started.
No.
That's how you get it started.
North America that will play with you on that game.
That's legit how you get it started. We're gonna start it small. Stream it, shit. Stream it. Hell yeah. People are gonna be like, "Ooh, Sims tournament," and they're gonna click on it.
And then they're gonna click away.
See, you say that, but potentially, honestly, all it takes is reaching out to like a Sims content creator and just being like, "Hey, we're trying to have a Sims tournament."
EA is not going to do that.
Not only that,
EA doesn't have to do shit.
Not only that, but
I makes the Sims.
I don't think it's smart for you to reach out to a 6 or 7 year old and ask them, "Hey, can you sit up here and stream this tournament for us?"
6 or 7 year olds can't even build a proper house in that game. I'm talking about your 30-year-old moms that have nothing better to do because they stay at home all day. I'm talking about
keep your voice down. My wife might get offended. Come on, man.
Hey, not against you. You're amazing. I, truly adore that you play Sims. Well, but I think that it's a great option.
You really just hood my wife. Oh my god,
I did. hey, Dev's wife, she would hop on Sims too. I promise, because when I used to live with him, she used to be like, "Oh, hey, can I play Sims?" Absolutely, Sims is a great game. Play it all you want.
I guess.
I
still have the profile that literally has Shy and then Deleon with their little kid, and they had a pet. I have that on my Xbox. Don't play me.
I ain't saying shit. I'm just saying I don't think Sims would be good competitively. That's all.
Shit. What game would you like to see be competitive then?
The games that I want to see competitive are already competitive. That's the thing. No. I'm not even talking about Destiny. Destiny would not work. It is fine where it's at. It does not need to be in any esports or anything like that.
Oh, hell no, it doesn't.
They tried it for a year, and let's just say things didn't go well. But, I don't know. For me, I feel like competitive gaming, everything's out there. You have, like, for instance, you have League of Legends. You got that's team based, whatever. You know what I mean?
MOBA. Yeah,
it's a good MOBA. If you don't like the top down MOBAs, you got Overwatch. Overwatch is a first person shooter. Listen, I know a lot of people don't like it, but it has a league. You know what I mean?
That's dying. Yeah, but yeah, you're right.
We're not going to talk about that.
Overwatch 2, here we come.
No. That and the new Diablo aren't going to be coming out this year. I read that. But you got your Call of Duty and stuff like that. The actual first person fast paced shooter and whatnot. You got your Fortnite and you got your Warzone for people who love their battle royale and all that stuff. It's just a lot of things out there. I mean, shit. There's even an Uno, like a legit Uno. stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Y'all are disrespecting grandfather of esports, man.
We're not.
Come
No,
on, man.
I am not gonna bring that up. I hate that game.
Oh, StarCraft
What,
is the best,
RuneScape?
man.
No,
StarCraft.
StarCraft is the shiznit, man.
No. Listen, I give respect to StarCraft. You know, it's still pretty big till this day. You know, but
I like Star Wars too.
Anyway, I got stories about StarCraft. That's the only reason why but yeah, no, I mean, honestly, a lot of things you can do it, and a lot of things are out there. You just gotta be, willing to, for a lot of games, put the effort and the work to, I guess, get good, basically.
Damn.
I don't know if I'm gonna say this. It's gonna be some bad people. I don't know.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, but hold on. Before you get on, just feel me on this one. StarCraft to me is not the grandfather of esports.
Then what is?
It's what brought esports to the forefront. I'll give you that, but not the grandfather. Fighting games are the grandfather to esports.
Hell yeah! Soul Calibur 3.
Yeah. Okay. We can name a couple other ones that are way better than that, like Tekken.
Street
Fighter.
Listen, I would say Mortal Kombat 1.
Mortal Kombat, yeah.
The
Bikini battles.
Yeah. I was doing Mortal Kombat. I was doing Mortal Kombat tournaments at like a Blockbuster, way before StarCraft.
Hey, this is what he really did. He went to the Walmart, and you remember how they used to have the screen up on top of the aisle. He said, "Yeah, get in line," and then they looked up and they'd play right there.
Miracle, we got to get you a girlfriend so you can come
quick.
Like ASAP.
Listen, I have low standards, so it's
low self-esteem as well.
Just so that way, somebody clip that. Hang on.
As long as you play games,
so I can show his girlfriend when he gets one. Hey, look, this is what he said. Hang on.
Hey, at least he knows what he wants. You know what I mean?
No, he don't know what he wants.
I do. Listen, all I want is somebody I can play video games with. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you say that right now, and we get you a fucking fugly ugaboo. Don't say nothing, but she gonna be she's gonna be great at video games.
No, I'm okay, thank you.
So yeah, I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know, man.
Hey, you know what?
I think StarCraft was a great game. It still is, but I think that was more like it became hot and it became big because of the Korean scene. So honestly,
man, they're crazy. They're fast as hell. You see their hands? They're like,
yeah, man. I mean, it's a whole totally different world over there when it comes to like gaming and stuff like that. Plus, the internet is way better than ours. But yeah, they don't play around over there. They take it serious.
You know what else is really fun? Hearthstone.
You know what? Try to get into it. Really couldn't, but that doesn't mean it's not. It doesn't mean it's not a good game. I just couldn't get into it.
I know.
Respect.
I know Riot just came out with well, I wouldn't say just came out, but they came out with their own thing. It's called Terra.
It's supposed to be based off of League of Legends, right?
Yeah. It has a lot of the stuff and stuff like that. I see my boy Admiral play it. And if I ever get
Admiral, the one that likes e-girls too?
Yeah, that one.
Hi, bud.
I've been trying to get him a Valentine's Day date, through League of Legends, but it hasn't really worked out. But listen, I don't know. He's him and Merc, and whatever. But,
yeah.
But
let's move on to something different.
Anyways, so how you guys doing?
Yeah. So I think that's about it, guys.
And that's about it.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
Wrap it up.
All right. Just want to give a little shout out.
How you gonna expose me? You weren't exposed, bro. You weren't. Not compared to me.
No, yeah, he exposed himself. Anyway, again, you guys like the merch you see right here. Miracle has another piece of merch right there.
The bomber jacket.
You know what I mean? Always check it out at Player1NE Apparel. The link's going to be in the chat very soon. Also, come see us again on Sunday. We're talking about maybe doing 2 shows a week, but that's still in the talks. Thank you
Hey,
for
and hit us up with what you guys want to see. If you guys have ideas, let us know. Because clearly we like to, shoot the shit on pretty much anything. So, come at us with some good gaming ideas. Anything, has to do with gaming. And we're down to talk about it. Shit, I talked about Sims for 3 minutes today.
No more than that, but
I was about to say, I'm like, whoa.
We can make anything work.
Yeah, just give us at On The Level on Twitter, Instagram. We're working on what is it? We're working on TikTok.
TikTok, damn, whip.
Yeah, none of your gameplay. But anyway,
Thank
yeah, I
goodness.
appreciate everyone for coming in this Sunday. Herc, I appreciate you coming in. We got the Batman signal. Just say Kingdom Hearts, he pops up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I appreciate Boss Man as well.
Yes, sir.
So we'll be back next Sunday. Oh, well, this Sunday technically.
Yeah.
So, appreciate everyone for joining in. Love you too.